Welcome everyone to an in-depth exploration of Rigetti, a company at the forefront of the quantum revolution. Rigetti isn't just building quantum computers, they are creating the entire ecosystem to make these incredibly powerful machines accessible and practical. Rigetti's stock experienced a remarkable surge, growing over 2,000% from October 2024 through the end of the year. This surge was fueled by increasing investor enthusiasm for quantum technology and speculative trading. However, since January 2025, the stock price has corrected downward, dropping approximately 40% as investors re-evaluated valuations in the sector and concerns about immediate profitability arose. This significant fluctuation shows that the market is still extremely volatile and highly dependent on sentiment. From the intricate hardware to the cloud services, they are pioneering a new era of computation. This presentation is for informational purposes only, and not financial advice. Remember to subscribe and like this channel if you find this content valuable. This presentation was created by Fritz on January 17, 2025. Rigetti is publicly traded on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol RGTI, on the global select market. Their headquarters is located in Berkeley, California, placing them right in the heart of the tech world. The company was founded by Chad Rigetti, a visionary who understood the importance of bringing quantum to reality. The company focused initially on developing its superconducting quantum processors and raised significant capital from investors. Rigetti has pioneered many innovations in the quantum computing field and has transitioned from a research-focused endeavor to a commercial entity, bringing multiple generations of quantum processors to market. The company went public in 2022 via a SPAC merger, marking a significant milestone in its history. Rigetti is currently led by Dr. Subodh Kulkarni, who not only has a PhD in theoretical physics but also a business degree. An interesting anecdote about him: he is a passionate amateur astronomer. His leadership is driving Rigetti's mission forward, blending a deep understanding of science with strategic business decisions. Rigetti was founded in 2013 by Chad Rigetti, and since then, the company has pioneered many innovations in the quantum computing field. Rigetti went public in 2022 via a SPAC merger. Rigetti is unique in that it operates as a full-stack quantum company. They are not only involved in building the actual quantum processors, but also in creating the necessary software and cloud infrastructure to make these devices accessible and useful. This vertically integrated approach allows Rigetti to have better control over the entire ecosystem. Their revenue is diversified, from sales of highly specialized quantum hardware to access to their cloud platform and the software they create to facilitate quantum computing. Cloud services are their largest revenue generator. Rigetti differentiates itself through a combination of its integrated approach, its reliance on superconducting qubits, and a commitment to practical applications. Unlike many of its competitors, Rigetti controls all layers of the quantum stack, leading to streamlined operations and greater control of performance. Their agile innovation cycles have shown a continuous commitment to improvement. The in-house fabrication facility means they are not dependent on external suppliers and can improve their designs rapidly. Rigetti also has a strong emphasis on real-world applications. These unique aspects give Rigetti a distinct competitive edge. Looking towards the future, Rigetti envisions a world fundamentally reshaped by the power of quantum computing. Imagine a future where the discovery of life-saving drugs and revolutionary new materials is accelerated dramatically by quantum simulations, transforming the very landscape of medical science and material engineering. Supply chains, once vulnerable and inefficient, could be optimized with quantum algorithms, enhancing their resilience and reducing waste. The complexities of financial markets, which have been so difficult to grasp using standard techniques, could be navigated with far greater precision and insight, enhancing stability in the global economy. Furthermore, we believe that quantum-enhanced artificial intelligence will lead to unprecedented breakthroughs in machine learning, enabling us to tackle complex pattern recognition tasks currently beyond our reach. And not only this, but quantum computers could enable us to unlock the deepest mysteries of the universe, bringing us closer to understanding the very foundations of our reality. These scenarios, while aspirational, reveal the transformative potential of quantum technology. Realizing these visions will require continuous innovation and sustained effort by Rigetti and the wider quantum computing community. It's important to note that these are potential future developments and are not to be considered as guarantees of success or guaranteed timelines. Rigetti serves a broad spectrum of customers, which reflects the diverse potential of quantum computing. A strong customer base is represented by research institutions and universities, which are crucial for advancing basic quantum science. Government agencies are also major partners, utilizing quantum computing for national security and research. The commercial sector is also quickly expanding as more companies explore practical applications of quantum for their respective industries. Rigetti is committed to serving these diverse customer groups in various stages of their quantum journey. The quantum computing market is competitive, with several companies striving for leadership. Major tech giants such as IBM and Google have also invested heavily in the field. There are also smaller companies like IonQ and Quantinuum who are working on trapped ion technology. The market is still volatile, and exact market shares are hard to measure. Rigetti is one of the significant companies in the field, and will most likely remain a strong force in this evolving market. It is worth noting that the industry is extremely dynamic. This slide presents Rigetti's income statements from 2020 to the trailing 12 months ending September 30, 2024. We can see that Rigetti's revenue has grown significantly from just $0.74 million in 2020 to $11.89 million in the TTM period, with strong growth in the early years. But is still very little. It is also clear that the revenue growth has slowed down in more recent times. Despite this increase in revenue, the company is still operating at a significant loss, with an operating income of -$67.22 million in the TTM period. Although the operating losses have seen fluctuation over the years, the trend remains that of a significant loss. While revenue continues to increase, it is evident that Rigetti still has much work to do to reach operating profitability. The company's ongoing investments in R&D and infrastructure contribute to these operating losses. These trends provide valuable insight into the company's current trajectory. The combined cash and short-term investments have grown from just $0.31 million in 2020 to a peak of $142.81 million by the end of 2022. This significant increase was primarily driven by fundraising activities and the company's public listing. Since then, cash reserves have decreased to $92.58 million in the TTM period. A decline in short-term investments also plays a role in the decreasing trend. The decreasing cash reserves and short-term investments illustrate the company's cash burn rate and ongoing operating losses. This trend indicates the necessity for Rigetti to monitor its cash reserves carefully and the company's long-term strategic plans for maintaining sufficient liquidity. This slide examines Rigetti's stock price and valuation dynamics. The stock experienced a meteoric rise of over 2,000% starting in October 2024. This explosive growth was primarily fueled by a surge in investor interest in quantum computing and speculative trading activity, pushing Rigetti's valuation to very high levels. However, since the beginning of 2025, the stock has corrected by approximately 40%, reflecting a shift in investor sentiment. This downturn was partly triggered by comments from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, who suggested that practical quantum computing is still 15 to 30 years away. This statement led some investors to re-evaluate the near-term commercial potential and valuations of quantum computing companies. Currently, despite the significant price correction, Rigetti's valuation remains high due to the company's potential in a rapidly growing market. Investors need to be aware of the inherent volatility and long-term horizon associated with quantum computing investments. This volatility is a reminder that valuation can vary wildly, influenced by emerging technologies and evolving sentiment. Rigetti offers a compelling mix of strengths and challenges. Their integrated approach and dedicated foundry offer distinct advantages, while their experienced leadership team and active technology development further strengthen their position. However, the company faces fierce competition and faces the inherent risks of developing cutting-edge technology. The path to profitability might take some time. And also, it is important to remember the stock's extreme volatility, with a dramatic surge followed by a significant correction. This volatility makes Rigetti a high-risk investment. The road ahead depends on the company's ability to execute its vision.